Why is it that they get to have a unit that is dedicated to investigating them? Are they not part of the general population of South Africa that should be subjected to the same sort of scrutiny that everybody has? I'm asking this question that I imagine a high net worth individual would ask, to say, why do I get singled out? I happen to be a lot more endowed financially than other people, yes, but why should there be a whole unit dedicated to checking people like me out?
So in terms of the rationality, how that specific unit works. Now, as we did say, that unit has a higher threshold than 50 million in asset value. But that aside, the operational of that unit is a case of, as a high wealth individual, you are assigned a dedicated relationship manager from that unit. And the rationale behind that is, one, high wealth individuals generally have more complex tax affairs that does not fall in line with what your average SARS official who is capturing or processing a return or taking a call at a call center is well versed enough to assist with. And two, where there is non-compliance amongst high wealth individuals, it is generally of a greater quantum, so a much higher amount if there's non-compliance. You know, the average taxpayer, they might get a letter of demand from SARS for 5,000 Rand, whereas that high wealth guy, his letter of demand, chances are it's about 5 million. And that's because to get to that level of wealth, it's typically seen that there are corporate involvements in terms of different shareholding. There are some sort of international transactions or international investments, offshore policies, global endowments, and that creates a degree of complexity where there is requirement for a specific and highly trained unit to be assigned to these individual taxpayers.
How are they doing it? What are the mechanics of this process of probing, of finding out whether or not high net worth individuals have been kosher in the way that they've accumulated that wealth, and whether or not they've been paying their dues to the taxman?
The first step in the right direction would have been the implementation of the high wealth unit. And those falling below the threshold will now be caught in this net of the 50 million disclosure, which is effective already for this filing season, as in right now. They've got to declare assets and liabilities, and when that is considered, first consideration will most likely be based on income in terms of bank statements, salaried income, interest income, dividends, potentially inheritance. It really does depend. Do the funds received justify acquisition of the assets being declared? If yes, okay. If no, verification. Please submit source documents evidencing the originating source of the funds, either on hand or used to acquire the assets at acquisition date, whether it was this year, whether it was last year, whether it was the year before. And from there, they will start connecting the dots.